Welcome back. Today we are diving into the fascinating world of Kennedy half-dollar coins, one of the most iconic American coins ever minted. Introduced in 1964 to honor President John F. Kennedy after his tragic assassination, these coins have become a staple for collectors worldwide. While millions of Kennedy half-dollars were produced over the years, some coins, due to their rarity, mint marks, or condition, have skyrocketed in value at auctions. In this video, we will explore the top 5 most valuable Kennedy half-dollars, detailing their history, unique features, collector demand, and current market value in dollars. So let's get started. First up, we'll be diving into one of the most iconic American coins, the Kennedy half-dollar, specifically the 1978 edition without a mint mark. At first glance, this coin might seem like ordinary pocket change. But when you take a closer look at its history, unique features, rarity, and what collectors are paying for it today in auctions, you'll realize this coin is far more valuable than many people think. If you've got one of these tucked away, you might just be holding a hidden treasure. The Kennedy half-dollar was first minted in 1964 as a tribute to President John F. Kennedy, following his tragic assassination in 1963. Americans embraced the coin immediately, not just as currency, but as a way to honor their beloved president. By 1978, the coin was already well established in circulation. Unlike the earlier silver versions, the 1978 half-dollars were struck in a copper-nickel-clad composition, since silver had been removed from circulation coins after 1970. The Philadelphia Mint did not place a mint mark on these coins, so if your 1978 half-dollar has no mint mark, it means it came from Philadelphia. On the obverse, you'll find the familiar and striking portrait of John F. Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts. His profile is bold, facing left, with the inscriptions "Liberty" arching across the top and "In God We Trust" beneath his chin, along with the year 1978. On the reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, you'll see the presidential seal, a heraldic eagle with a shield, grasping an olive branch in one talon and arrows in the other. Around the design are 50 stars, representing the states. The absence of a mint mark is important because it identifies the Philadelphia issue. While hundreds of millions were struck, finding well-preserved coins in collectible condition is where rarity begins to take shape. Now, you might be wondering, with so many coins minted, how can the 1978 no mint mark half-dollar be considered rare? The truth is, rarity in coin collecting isn't only about mintage numbers. It's also about survival rates and high condition. Most 1978 Kennedy half-dollars entered circulation and stayed there for decades, enduring scratches, wear, and heavy handling. A coin in fine condition already stands out among the countless heavily worn examples. Collectors today are actively seeking these coins to complete their Kennedy series, and this drives up demand. Special errors or exceptionally high-grade examples can make them even more desirable. So what are collectors paying in today's auction market? In fine condition, a 1978 Kennedy half-dollar without mint mark typically brings a few dollars, which is already above its face value. However, coins in higher grades, such as mint state, have been known to sell for anywhere between $176,000, depending on the quality, luster, and overall eye appeal. And here's where it gets exciting. Rare varieties, such as double die errors or coins with unique striking flaws, have crossed the auction block for several $100s. Even though the average fine condition example is worth thousands, its value lies in collectability and the fact that these pieces are steadily rising in price as interest in Kennedy half-dollars continues to grow. If you're interested in collecting the 1978 Kennedy half-dollar without mint mark, here are some quick tips. Even minor differences in wear can significantly affect value. Double dies, off-center strikes, or other minting flaws can greatly increase a coin's worth. Use protective holders or albums to prevent further wear. Certified coins from PCGS or NGC ensure authenticity and condition, which makes them easier to resell at higher prices. Prices can jump depending on collector interest, so tracking the market is key. The 1978 Kennedy half-dollar without mint mark might not look like a jackpot at first, but in fine condition and beyond, it holds surprising value in today's auction market. For collectors, it's more than just a coin. It's a piece of American history, a reminder of President Kennedy's legacy, and a collectible that continues to gain attention year after year. Next up, we uncover the fascinating world of rare and collectible coins that may be hiding in your pocket change. We'll be talking about the 1985 Kennedy half dollar with the Philadelphia P mint mark, a coin that, at first glance, might look ordinary, especially in bad or worn condition, but still carries an intriguing story, a collector's charm, and in some cases, surprising market value in auctions. Even though most people think modern half dollars are worth much, certain dates and mint marks have carved their own place in numismatic history. The Kennedy half dollar series was first introduced in 1964, just months after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. It quickly became one of the most beloved coins in the United States. By 1985, the series had been in circulation for more than 2 decades, and the half dollar was still being produced, though its role in everyday commerce had greatly diminished. Fewer people used half dollars in daily transactions, which meant fewer were seen in circulation. The Philadelphia Mint struck millions of 1985 Kennedy half dollars, but most of them ended up either in collectors' hands or stored away in rolls and bags. Today, finding them, especially with heavy wear or in bad condition, tells a story of decades of use and survival. The 1985 Kennedy half dollar with the P mint mark carries the familiar design created by Gilroy Roberts and Frank Gasparo. On the obverse, we see the left-facing portrait of President John F. Kennedy, with the word Liberty arching around the top, and the date, 1985, at the bottom. The motto, "I in God We Trust," is split on either side of the neck. The reverse displays the presidential seal with the heraldic eagle holding an olive branch and arrows, surrounded by 50 stars. The P mint mark, found just above Kennedy's shoulder, represents the Philadelphia Mint. What makes coins in bad condition interesting is that they show the wear of history, faded details, scratches, discoloration, and sometimes even environmental damage, all of which make each piece unique in its own way. Now, you may be asking, if millions of these coins were made, how can they be rare? The answer lies not just in mintage, but also in survival and collector demand. Most 1985 Kennedy half dollars that were preserved in mint state or proof sets are what collectors chase after. But finding circulated examples, especially in truly bad or heavily worn condition, can still catch attention. Why? Because many casual collectors and even new coin enthusiasts look for every date and mint mark in the series. The Philadelphia P mint mark for 1985 is an essential piece of the Kennedy half dollar timeline, and without it, a collection remains incomplete. Moreover, heavily circulated examples show the coin's real-world use, making them desirable for those who appreciate history beyond perfection. While they are not considered rare in the strict sense, they are in demand among certain types of collectors. Let's talk about the part everyone is waiting for: the value. In bad condition, a 1985 Kennedy half dollar with a P mint mark usually trades for its face value, 50 cents, or slightly above. However, in auctions, even worn-out examples can attract bidders, particularly if the coin has unique toning, heavy circulation character, or simply completes a missing spot in someone's collection. On average, these coins in bad condition sell for about $125,000 in collector markets. In higher grades, such as uncirculated or mint state, values can rise significantly, with some pieces selling for $175,000 or even more depending on the grade and eye appeal. Rare errors on 1985 Kennedy halves, such as off-center strikes or double dies, can push auction prices into the thousands of dollars. If you come across a 1985 Kennedy half dollar in bad condition, don't be quick to dismiss it. First, check the mint mark carefully to ensure it's the Philadelphia P. Then, inspect it for any unusual errors, misstrikes, or doubling, which could make it much more valuable. Even if the coin shows heavy wear, it may still be worth holding on to, especially if you are building a full date and mint collection of Kennedy halves. For collectors, always try to compare prices on recent auction listings, as values can fluctuate based on demand. And remember, sometimes the historical connection and story behind a coin make it more valuable than just the dollars attached to it. The 1985 Kennedy half dollar with the Philadelphia P mint mark may not be the rarest coin in American history, and in bad condition, it often carries only modest value. But its significance lies in being part of the long-running Kennedy half dollar series, a series loved by collectors around the world. Whether you find one in your change, in a collection, or at a flea market, it deserves a closer look. Who knows, you might be holding a piece that not only completes a collection, but also carries unique character and history that makes it stand out in the auction market. So keep an eye on your half dollars. You never know what stories they hold or how much they could be worth. Next up, we're diving into one of the most iconic U.S. coins ever struck, the 1976 bicentennial Kennedy half dollar with the double date 1776 to 1976, and specifically those carrying the Denver Mint mark, the D. Now, while millions of these coins were minted, what makes some examples rare and valuable are their unique conditions, historical significance, and demand in today's collector market. We'll explore its background, unique features, rarity, current auction values in dollars, and tips for collectors looking to add this remarkable coin to their collection. The year 1976 marked the 200th anniversary of American independence, and to celebrate this monumental milestone, the U.S. Mint released special bicentennial coins, including quarters, half dollars, and dollars, all featuring the dual date, 1776 to 1976. The Kennedy half dollar, first introduced in 1964 as a tribute to President John F. Kennedy after his tragic assassination, was chosen to carry a commemorative design. Millions were struck at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. The Denver Mint, indicated by the small D mark, produced a huge portion of these coins for circulation. Despite the high mintage, time has revealed that certain conditions such as mint errors, untouched uncirculated examples, and those with unusual toning can elevate a coin's value far beyond face value. This bicentennial Kennedy half dollar carries several standout features. On the obverse, we see the familiar bust of President John F. Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts, paired with the double date 1776 to 1976 just beneath. The reverse, designed by Seth Huntington, features a bold and patriotic image of Independence Hall in Philadelphia, the very building where both the Declaration of Independence and the U.S. Constitution were signed. The placement of the mint mark, the overall bicentennial theme, and its larger-than-life patriotic design make this coin a favorite among both American collectors and history enthusiasts worldwide. Now let's talk about rarity. In general, the 1976 Kennedy half dollar is not rare in circulated condition. Tens of millions exist. However, rarity emerges in several ways. First, condition plays a huge role. While worn coins are common, finding a black, rusty, or heavily toned coin creates a unique visual appeal that some collectors prize as one of a kind. Second, high-grade mint state coins with the D mint mark are much harder to locate, as most entered circulation and sustained heavy wear. Finally, coins with mint errors such as off-center strikes, doubled dies, or striking flaws can sell for huge premiums at auctions. The combination of history, patriotic significance, and collector demand ensures that bicentennial Kennedy half dollars always maintain strong interest. So what are these coins worth today? A standard circulated 1776, 1976 D Kennedy half dollar might fetch anywhere from $75,000 depending on its condition, which is still above face value. However, in black, rusty, or uniquely toned condition, collectors seeking unusual examples may pay a premium, sometimes ranging from $180,000 depending on the coin's eye appeal. For high-grade mint state versions, especially graded MS66 or higher, prices can climb into the hundreds of dollars. Even more impressive, rare varieties and mint error coins with the D mint mark have crossed $295,000 at auctions. This means that even though the coin was mass-produced, standout examples continue to command big money in today's market. If you're looking to add a 1776, 1976 D Kennedy half dollar to your collection, here are some tips. Look for coins with sharp details, minimal wear, and original luster. Misstrikes, doubling, and die flaws are highly prized. Don't overlook toning. Even black, rusty, or rainbow-toned coins can be very collectible if they have eye appeal. If you believe your coin is in exceptional condition, having it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC can greatly increase its marketability and value. Sites like Heritage Auctions and eBay regularly feature rare bicentennial halves, and tracking them can give you a strong sense of current market demand. The 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half-dollar with the D mint mark is more than just a piece of circulating coinage. It's a patriotic keepsake, a piece of history, and for some collectors, a source of real profit. While millions were minted, the true value lies in condition, uniqueness, and collector demand. Whether you find one in rusty, dark-toned condition or manage to secure a pristine high-grade example, this commemorative coin continues to stand tall as one of America's most beloved numismatic treasures. So, if you've got a bicentennial Kennedy half-dollar sitting in your collection, or even in an old jar of coins at home, take a second look. You might just be holding onto a piece of history worth far more than 50 cents. Next up, we are diving into a fascinating piece of American numismatic history. The Kennedy half-dollar from 1972, specifically those without a mint mark. At first glance, you might overlook coins in dirty or circulated condition, but this particular coin holds a unique appeal among collectors. Its blend of historical significance, rarity, and potential market value makes it a must-watch for anyone interested in U.S. coin collecting. We will explore its history, what makes it special, why collectors value it, and how much it can fetch at auctions today. The Kennedy half-dollar was first introduced in 1964, shortly after the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. It was designed as a tribute to the 35th President of the United States and quickly became one of the most recognizable coins in American history. By 1972, the coin had been in circulation for almost a decade, and while millions were minted, certain varieties, such as those without a mint mark, are now considered rare. Coins without a mint mark were produced at the Philadelphia Mint, and over time, fewer of these coins have survived in collectible condition, particularly those that remain intact despite heavy circulation. The 1972 Kennedy half-dollar features a striking profile of President Kennedy on the obverse, with the word Liberty prominently displayed above his head and the date below. The reverse showcases the iconic presidential seal, complete with an eagle clutching an olive branch and arrows. One distinguishing feature of the no-mint mark 1972 coins is their subtle design details, which are sharper compared to some later heavily worn examples. Even in dirty condition, the coin retains its historical charm, and collectors often prize the original toning and patina that develop over decades. Despite millions of Kennedy half-dollars being minted in 1972, the no-mint mark variety is harder to find in quality, even circulated condition. Dirty or heavily worn coins can still attract significant collector interest because they are often overlooked in everyday circulation. The rarity comes not just from the number minted, but from the number that survived decades of handling without being lost, melted down, or damaged beyond recognition. Coin collectors and hobbyists know that even coins in less than perfect condition can become valuable if they are rare enough. So, what can a 1972 Kennedy half-dollar without a mint mark in dirty condition fetch today? Depending on its exact state and the auction venue, these coins typically range from $265,000. However, coins that display some unique characteristics, like strong original toning or clear design details despite heavy wear, can sometimes command higher prices at specialized auctions or from private collectors. While as expensive as early silver half-dollars, their historical significance and collector demand keep their value steady. If you're considering adding this coin to your collection, here are a few tips. First, always check for authenticity, especially when buying from online auctions or private sellers. Second, don't overlook coins in dirty or circulated condition. Many collectors actively seek these for their rarity and unique appearance. Third, store your coins properly in a cool, dry place to prevent further deterioration, and consider professional grading if you believe your coin may have exceptional qualities. Finally, keep an eye on auction trends, as market demand can fluctuate and certain varieties may suddenly gain popularity. The 1972 Kennedy half-dollar without a mint mark, even in dirty condition, is a fascinating coin for collectors and history enthusiasts alike. Its connection to one of America's most beloved presidents, coupled with its rarity and enduring appeal, makes it more than just pocket change. It's a piece of history. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, finding one of these coins can be a rewarding addition to your collection and, potentially, a smart investment. Next up, we're diving into a fascinating piece of American history. The Kennedy half-dollar from 1973 with a D mint mark. This coin is not just a medium of exchange. It is a symbol of legacy, craftsmanship, and rarity that continues to captivate collectors around the world. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a casual coin collector, this 1973 D. Kennedy half-dollar in very fine condition is one that you should keep an eye on, especially given its historical significance and strong auction market value. The Kennedy half-dollar was first introduced in 1964 as a tribute to President John F. Kennedy following his tragic assassination in 1963. Designed by Gilroy Roberts on the obverse and Frank Gasparo on the reverse, the coin quickly became a beloved collectible. The 1973 issue marked the 9th year of production for this iconic half-dollar. Coins from the Denver Mint, indicated by the D. Mint mark, were struck with care, and many circulated heavily during the 1970s. Unlike earlier silver issues from 1964 and the 1965 to 1970 40% silver series, the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar is composed primarily of copper-nickel clad, yet it still holds tremendous appeal for collectors seeking pieces from every mint year. The 1973 D. Kennedy half-dollar features the familiar profile of President Kennedy, facing left on the obverse. His finely sculpted hair and strong facial features are captured in detail, even in coins that have seen moderate circulation. On the reverse, the presidential coat of arms, with its intricate eagle, shield, and olive branches, makes this coin a visual masterpiece. One of the unique aspects of the 1973 D is the subtle variations in strike quality from the Denver Mint, which can influence collector interest. Coins in very fine condition preserve much of the original detail, including clear lines in the hair, defined feathers on the eagle, and a legible date and mint mark, making them highly sought after in the collector community. While the 1973 D. Kennedy half-dollar was minted in relatively high numbers, the number of surviving coins in very fine condition is significantly smaller. Many coins from this era were used extensively in everyday transactions, leading to wear and tear. This makes well-preserved examples rarer and more desirable. Collectors often seek out coins like this to complete mint sets, fill gaps in their Kennedy half-dollar collections, or simply hold a piece of American history in excellent condition. Auction demand for 1973 D coins is consistently strong, especially when the coin has retained its sharp details and minimal surface wear. So, what is a 1973 D Kennedy half-dollar in very fine condition worth today? On the auction market, prices can vary depending on the quality and eye appeal of the coin. As of now, a well-preserved 1973 D in very fine condition can fetch anywhere from $65,500, with exceptionally clean examples or those graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC potentially commanding higher premiums. Coins with historical provenance or those forming part of a complete collection can see values rise even further. It's a reminder that even coins without silver content can hold real financial and historical value. If you're considering adding a 1973 D Kennedy half-dollar to your collection, here are some tips. First, always examine the coin's surface and detail closely. Sharpness in the hair, facial features, and eagle feathers is key to determining its grade. Second, verify the mint mark. Denver minted coins are distinct and often more collectible in certain years. Third, consider having your coin professionally graded, as a certified coin often sells for a higher value at auction. Finally, store your coin properly in a protective holder to prevent any further wear, corrosion, or environmental damage. Collecting coins is as much about preservation as it is about discovery. The 1973 D Kennedy half-dollar in very fine condition is more than just pocket change. It is a tangible piece of American history and a cherished collectible for coin enthusiasts. Its combination of historical significance, detailed design, and scarcity in higher grades makes it a coin worth seeking out. Whether you're looking to expand your Kennedy half-dollar collection or invest in a rare collectible, the 1973 D is a shining example of a coin that bridges the past and present. Keep an eye out for this gem at auctions and in coin shops. It could be a valuable addition to any collection. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare and valuable coins, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our latest uploads. Thanks for watching and happy collecting.